Okay, so what did you find interesting about the good and bad numbers?
So it's kind of interesting, I guess. He grouped them into good and bad, which was just kind of alternating. So I think it was 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, dot, dot. So I'll just circle the good ones. He just said these were good, and he said these were bad.
All right.
And I mean, it's just an alternating pattern. So I thought it would have some impact later. And it turns out that he grouped these like this because the good ones are the ones that can be written as the sum of squares, and the bad ones are ones that cannot.
Okay.
I think is how it went.
How did he describe mathematically the good numbers and the bad numbers? Do you remember?
Well, he essentially said that they were 1 mod 4. The good numbers were 1 mod 4.
Okay.
He said they were 4k plus 1.
1 mod 4. Well, I'm having marker issues. Why don't you give me that marker? 1 mod 4.
Good.
And 3 mod 4. Bad. And what was good about these 1 mod 4 numbers, and what was bad about the 3 mod 4 numbers?
So the bad numbers could not be written as the sum of two integer squares.
All right.
But these good ones can.
Yeah. So it's a. Why don't you explain why 3 mod 4 doesn't work? No number that's 3 mod 4 can be written as a sum of 2 integer squares.
This is also like sort of a part of Fermat's Christmas theorem that he talked about. So all integers are either 0 mod 4, we call that 4k, 1 mod 4, 4k plus 1, 2 mod 4, or 3 mod 4. When you square them, this also becomes a 0 mod 4.
Okay.
So you get 8k squared. We can write that as 4m.
Yep.
4k plus 1. This becomes 8k squared plus 8k plus 1. So this becomes 4m plus 1. This becomes 8k squared plus 16k plus 4. This becomes 0 mod 4.
Alright.
And 4k plus 3 becomes 8k squared plus 24k plus 9. So this becomes 1 mod 4.
Alright.
So 4 plus 1. So all integers, when they're squared, they become either 0 mod 4 in these two cases, or 1 mod 4 in these cases. And when you add them, the only things you can get mod 4, when you add a 0 and a 0, you get 0 mod 4. When you add a 0 and a 1, or a 1 and a 0, you get 1. When you add a 1 and a 1, you get 2. But it's never possible to get 3.
Okay, so interesting. So no number that's 3 mod 4. This can be written as a sum of 2 squares. Did he explain why all numbers 1 mod 4 can be?
I don't think so.
He didn't, yeah. It's a little more difficult, but not outrageously difficult. You see that you definitely can add squares to get 1 mod 4.
Yeah.
But just because you can do it doesn't mean you're always going to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's just pick one. So give me a number that's 1 mod 4 that's not currently on the screen.
How about 25?
All right, great. Can we find a way to write that as a sum of squares?
I guess this is the best example because it's 5 squared plus 0 squared.
Ah, okay. Is there any other way to do it?
You can do it 3 squared plus 4 squared.
Aha. Okay.
Depending on how we're counting them, both of those work.
Nice. Yeah, and 0 squared plus 5 squared. Okay, cool. All right, so that turned out to be 1 one where it wasn't too difficult to find. Let's pick another one.
Maybe 17.
Okay.
17 becomes 1 squared plus 4 squared. Let's see. Can you do any example?
You can't do it with 3.
2 squared becomes 47. It doesn't work.
No. And then, so I guess it's just 4 and
Okay.
Some-
So in a sense, this number really only 17 only has one way to do it. There's
Mhm.
only one choice. Let's pick one last one. Maybe let me just make one up. 41.
Okay.
That's 1 mod 4.
So if you can't do it using 1 squared because 40 is not a square.
So 2 squared, no.
7.
3 squared, no. What about 4 squared? So 4 squared plus 5 squared seems to work.
Okay.
And this is the only way to do it.
Yeah, so here's one again that just works only one way. So it kind of shows you that it's even kind of more of a miracle that it works. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, it's really neat. So it's a cool video, and then it ends up showing you this really nice formula for pi over 4 that they said somebody first discovered in the 1400s in
And
India.
someone rediscovered it 200 years later.
Yeah. So that's neat. All right, hey, high five. Good work this morning.